Hey everyone, Market Mondays. Denny Troncoso here. I'm glad to be here with you to share an interesting article, give some millennials some bragging rights, and over the baby boomers. I know baby boomers, they always bragging. So I have some bragging rights for the millennials. And then, of course, share the interest rates on what's happening in the market, share some presidential, commercial, and SBA rates. And let's go ahead and get started. And before I do, I just wanted to point out, I imagine a lot of you have started seeing some of our videos, a little bit more animated there. So I want to shout out to Kevin. He's doing a really good job for us. So I'm really excited about what we have going on. And that gives me more time to actually roll out some new videos that I want to put out, both on the investment side, on the commercial side, and something even a little bit more entertaining, but we'll keep that a little bit under wraps until we roll it out. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen so you can see here the article, and then we can go ahead and get started. So the article is called, should be able to see that, it's called "The Boomers Are Buying Houses." Boomers buying houses had it bad in the 80s, but millennials have it worse. All right. So just the reality of it. This is from the Wall Street Journal, Nicole Friedman and Elena Pipe. It kind of gives me, really being a millennial. If you don't know about the boomers, baby boomers, and millennials, these are demographic groups that they're kind of assigned an era by when they grew up. So baby boomers were in their 20s and the 80s, right? And then millennials were born after 81 to all the way to 96. So millennials right now, they're under age 43 or so. I'm a millennial. And my life has been defined by 9/11, the Great Recession, the pandemic, right, that just happened. And what happens with these demographic groups is that we actually, our life, these things in life that impact us in a way that we kind of live our lives this way. So people that grew up during the Depression, they're very frugal, right? Because they went through this time period that was very tough. So they want to be prepared in case something like that happens. They call the silent generation for those people that have that. And kind of maybe we'll do an episode with all the generations. But right now, so we're talking about millennials, talking about baby boomers, and something else that we've dealt with as millennials is the lack of increase in real wages and a big increase in college tuition expenses, which then cause all these student loans, which people are complaining about and trying to get waived. So that's just another kind of political thing, but that's the reality of what people are dealing with now. And I'm an investor. I'm also an entrepreneur. So I've had a lot of ways that I haven't had to deal with a lot of this stuff. I do have student loans that I'm still paying off. But on the homeownership side, I am a homeowner and other things. So I have been able to be blessed and be overcome with that. But one thing that the article points out, it says interest rates were higher in the 1980s, but prices were lower. So interest rates in the 1980s, they peaked at around 20%, 21%, but prices were significantly lower than they are now. So affordability actually improved in 1985, but it looks like it does not look like it's improved at the current time. So right now, the Fed has increased interest rates, trying to improve things, prevent things from continuing to increase. But it doesn't look like, nor is it planned, that especially home prices, are going to decline. And I know there's a lot of other costs. There's food costs. There's just so many other things. But one of the things for housing costs, and I personally, I'm very passionate about, and I think the government and politicians really should be more passionate about to get it under control and to find solutions for it because it's so much of the Americans' budget and everybody's budget, housing. So we're talking about 30 and in some cases 40, 50%. So if you can find ways to incentivize new construction, provide assistance to landlord. I'm also a landlord to provide affordable housing, attainable housing, then that helps with keeping the prices down and more affordability for everyone else, and also maybe to build homes, et cetera. So, a tangent, I know, but that's just part of the reason that it's just a big deal. It's so much money out of your wallet, out of your budget, housing. So one other thing that it mentioned is in 2021, a family needed $49,000 to afford a median price home, but currently that's $110,000 to afford the same home. And wages haven't doubled since 2000, right? So So this says in, I believe it's in 2001, right? So that's in 2001. So in 20 years, 23 years, wages haven't doubled, right? So people aren't making 110,000 when the people that were making 49,000, they're making a little bit more, but it really hasn't doubled. Another thing that point out that this article mentioned, which is interesting, is that manufactured home last year were 90,000, but in 1985, there were 280,000 manufactured homes, which was the most affordable product to live in, which is another interesting one. It says the median price to income ratio were in the 1980s to 2001 was 3x. So the experts recommend, if possible, it's not realistic right now, but don't buy a home that's more than 3 times your annual salary. So if you're making 100,000, 300,000. Right now, from 1980 to 2001, it was about 3 times. It even kind of dipped below 3 times. Currently, annual, according to the article, is 4.2 times. But if we change over to this article here, it's talking about, man, look how high it is in Florida, where we're at. It's 5.8 times. And then something the big guy is like, why is this all out of whack in Florida? Well, these are some of the main reasons. It says, this is an article by Jennifer Warner. Jennifer is an economist and director of economic development. And she said that the cash out equity from other markets, there's reasons for this disconnect, and they include cash out equity from other markets. So people are selling homes in other markets and moving to Florida. So they're coming with money. People are selling houses within Florida that are maybe bigger, more expensive, and moving to a more affordable home, a smaller home. So that's cash out equity within Florida. The other one is fewer available homes that are keeping the prices high. So the inventory is lower. People aren't reselling their homes, and builders haven't revved up construction. I mentioned this in the last video, that builders have not revved up construction to levels like before. We're only like at levels, I think it was a recent article, was like the 1960 construction levels. And our population, I think, has doubled since that time. Don't quote me on that one, but our population is a lot higher. Limited wage growth. So while companies have been paying more, the Fed aims to control inflation. So rapid wage growth isn't anticipated. Rapid wage growth could fuel inflation. So the Fed, what they did is they increased interest rates to slow down the business growth and a business demand, really. And so what they did is businesses were trying to hire employees. They were like 2 jobs per available employee. So employee wages were going up. But the Fed didn't want that happening, because when wages were going up, then that means businesses have increased their prices. And so it was going to be like a spiral, like an upward spiral on inflation. So that also hurt wages. Beyond earned income is retirees. They rely on investment income. They rely on passive investments, money that they saved up. And younger people also have been inheriting money from family, or getting money to buy homes from family. So that's also been pushing everything up. So these are some of the reasons just to be aware of. There's some ways to overcome this. So stay positive. If you're a millennial, you'll be able to do it. I've been sharing some tips every single week. Check out my other videos. But I'm gonna roll out some videos here too, just with some top 5, top 10s on what you can do so you can become a homeowner. Really, it can happen within the next 30 days if you're ready financially, but if not, within the next 6 months, a year, or even 2 years, right? So, because I know that that's a goal for many people, and I'd love to help you get on that path. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Let's talk about interest rates right now. Let's see if we can kind of just go over that. So we have a scenario here. 4,000 purchase price, 320 loan amount, 80% loan to value. No prepayment penalty. Income is 10,000 per month. Debt is 1,000 per month. This could be you. I don't know. Taxes $4,000 a year, and insurance is 2,000. So that gives you a monthly payments of $2,418.36. Now, what's the rate, guys? The rate is 5.99%. All right, that's a origination fee of 1.5%, APR 6.53. I know that I just saw an article, rates dropped significantly. They went down to like 6.5 from a year ago. They're down like a 1% or a little bit more. But that's still 6.5. We're doing close to 6%. Right. So give me a shout. Love to help you there. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and just share some last points with interest rates. I know we have a commercial. We have 5.75. That's on the 5-year fix on the commercial. And then we also have a small business administration SBA loans. They're ranging from 9.5 to about 11 and a quarter. And that's just really how those types of loans work. So just be aware of that. The other thing I'd like to mention is if you're finding the channel beneficial, please share it with some friends, share it with family, and then give me some feedback. Share in the comment section. That helps with the algorithm. There's a subscribe button. Go ahead and press the subscribe button. It's really easy. It helps us for you to get all the shows that we have rolling out. And then lastly, on my profile, I have tons of information on some of the services that I provide that I love to help you with, whether that's housing, learning about investing, and so much more. So this is Denny Troncoso, the Coastal Loans and Coastal Wealth channel. And we'll chat until next week, and also maybe even sooner as I roll out some new videos. All right. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.